story time. But I couldn't do it without him because I feel like it's wrong to only put out one side. So, here we go.
Okay, so the story is that we are getting divorced because it was our decision. It's my best friend. I still love her to death. Like, we still got a child together. We still gonna be hanging out. I'm probably gonna see it most days of the week. But at the end of the day, we got shit to do. That's it. You feel me? She has a path to go. I got a path to go. But our paths are parallel, and we always gonna be next to each other.
On July 28th, 2023, April Holt woke up in her Antioch, Tennessee home and went through her whole morning routine. But by the end of that day, she was in a hospital bed on life support. Her mother, Jamie, had questions that nobody around her seemed interested in answering.
This is just another slap in the face of, hey, we're going to halfway do our job. We're not even going to charge him with what he should be charged with. Why did you go in the living room and eat lunch like nothing was happening, that your wife is in another room dead, and then you send your son in there?
So for the next 14 months, she became the only person actively looking for those answers. She read through documents, filed complaints, contacted news stations, and kept pushing even when every door closed in her face.
They said they didn't see any signs of trauma, even though she had bruises, which I had to bring to their attention, even though the autopsy stated she had bruises on her neck, her wrists, her thighs, her ankles. She even had a gash on her inner thigh. I met with the DA. I met with everybody I possibly could. Everybody was like, oh, we don't see enough evidence. We don't see enough evidence. And they just let him be free.
And then one day, she picked up her phone and made a call that changed everything. This is Crime on Buzz. Before we get started, leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you won't miss out on cases like this. April Lynn Holt was born on July 6, 1994, in Altamont Springs, Florida. By the time she was 29, she had built a life worth being proud of. She was based in Nashville, Tennessee, running her own lash business, growing a loyal audience on TikTok, and raising 2 children who were her whole world. Her oldest, Serenity, was born when April was just 17. She made the hard but loving decision to have her mother, Janie, take on that role, giving Serenity the stability she needed while April figured out her footing. She went into lash artistry, built her clientele from scratch, then found her voice online. She talked about growth and about what it actually took to keep pushing.
I know you've had that moment where life is lifing, where everything is heavy, where everything is hard, where you know, okay, I'm getting everything done that I can get done, but there's more that I need to get done. And then there's that one extra thing. That one extra pebble that pushes you over. And in that moment, you have your breakdown because you were already being weighed down so much. And I realized the breakdown isn't a bad thing. Sometimes the breakdown is necessary so that you can unload certain things, reevaluate, reflect, release, so that moving forward, you can be the best version of yourself. You can take with you the things that are actually meant to be with you. And you can leave behind the things that are meant to be left behind. Breaking down isn't a bad thing. Sometimes breaking down is God's way of saying, pause. You did too much. You have too much on you. And I'm letting you know this. So take some things off. Take some time. I'm breaking you down physically, mentally, emotionally right now so that you can reflect and grow and move forward in the most positive, productive, effective, efficient way for you.
She didn't curate a perfect highlight reel. She showed the hard days too, and her followers loved her for it. Back in 2013, when April was 19, she crossed paths with a man named Donvin Holt. He was interested from the jump, but she wasn't. For 2 years, they stayed in the friend zone until 2015, when April decided to give it a shot. That October, their son Denzel was born. By 2020, they had walked down the aisle. On camera, they were the couple people rooted for. Side by side in videos, calling each other best friends, building content together. But behind what the camera showed, the relationship had been anything but steady. There had been multiple breakups, including one stretch that lasted close to 3 years, and somehow they kept posting through all of it, keeping the image intact. Later that same year, in 2020, they publicly announced the marriage was ending.
Over the death, like we still got a child together.
Story time, but I couldn't do it without him because I feel like it's wrong to only put out one side. So, here we go.
Okay, so the story is that we are getting divorced because it was our decision. It's my best friend. I still love her to death. Like we still got a child together. We still gonna be hanging out. I'm probably
All
gonna
the
see
time.
her most days of the week, but at the end of the day, we got shit to do. That's it. You feel me? She has a path to go. I got a path to go, but our paths to pay her live, and we always gonna be next to each other.
Yeah.
And who's to say what's gonna happen in the future? All that we know is right now. Right now, it's the best. I mean, real talk, it's the best decision for both of us. For her to do what she needs to do, for me to do what I need to do. So
we can grow and heal and
that's it.
Elevate. No hard feelings. This is not a messy divorce or anything like that. We don't do that. This is like I said. Like he said, this is my best friend at the end of the day. He has been before the relationship, before the marriage, before the kid. So nothing's gonna change that. So
Like, look at her, bro. Like I would never lose this forever. For real. And look,
so we're good, y'all. We're
for real
good.
though, like for real, for real.
Promise y'all.
That's it.
But before the year was out, they were back together and the marriage was back on. That reconciliation didn't fix what was broken. On the surface, things kept moving. Underneath, nothing had changed. April had something Donvin didn't. She had her own income, her own brand, her own following. She could leave and still stand. His visibility, though, had grown alongside hers. They weren't equals in that equation. In early July 2023, April celebrated turning 29. She posted about gratitude, about her children, about how full life felt. Serenity was now 11, Denzel had just turned 7. Her business was doing well, and her platform kept growing.
Happy 29th birthday to me. I am blessed to experience another year of life. I have lived through 10,585 days. I've created a beautiful life and family for myself. And I finally feel like I'm falling into alignment with my purpose and have a clear vision of who God created me to be. God knew I had to live a life most people wouldn't understand because He has taken me places most people will never see. I embrace and enjoy the journey day by day, year to year. And this year, I am becoming everything God intended for me. A powerful, purposeful woman who helps, heals, and brings hope to the next generation. A founding mother to a new generation of influence and power. Some people won't get it, and that's okay. God gave me this assignment and vision, but feel free to watch me grow.
That same month, she filed for divorce. For real this time. She told her mother, Jamie, directly. She was done. She was moving forward, and she wasn't looking back. 2 weeks after those papers were filed, on July 28th, 2023, April started her morning the way she always did. Coffee, journaling, her regular routine at their home in Antioch, Tennessee. She and Donvin ended up in the bathroom together, and an argument broke out.
On July 28th, she woke up, drank her coffee, journaled as usual, enjoying her peaceful morning, hugged and kissed her 7-year-old son, Denzel, and her husband then went into the bathroom and began to argue and fight. My 7-year-old grandson put his ear to the door and heard his parents fighting, and he looked underneath to see both of their feet. He then listened some more, but he couldn't understand what they were saying, and so he then ran to his room. His dad shortly after came into his room, and he got him dressed and he fed him. And he then had him go check on his mom. He asked him to go check on his mom. 911 was then called. We got to the hospital, and she had no brain function and no blood flow to her brain. We did not find out about the bag, which was not disclosed to us, for over 6 hours. In that time, her husband had went back to the apartment 2 times, not knowing I don't know what he was doing there. On July 31st of 2023, my daughter was pronounced dead, and I want justice.
Denzel heard it all from the hallway. Shortly after, Donvin came out alone. He got Denzel dressed, made him something to eat, and then told him to go check on his mom. Denzel opened that bathroom door and found April unresponsive with a bag around her head. Then Donvin called 911. Paramedics rushed her to the hospital, where she was placed on life support. Her family gathered around her and prayed. But on July 31st, 2023, April Lynn Holt was pronounced gone. While Jamie was still in the thick of her grief, Metro Nashville Police had already wrapped up their end of it. Officers had come out on the 28th, assessed the scene, and determined there was nothing suspicious going on. Weeks later, the medical examiner ruled the cause of passing as suffocation. But Jamie didn't accept that. She knew her daughter. April had just filed for divorce. She had a business, a future, 2 children she adored. And what Jamie saw at that hospital did not line up with what investigators were saying. April had bruising on her neck, her wrists, her ankles, and a visible wound on her inner thigh. Jamie raised those concerns and was dismissed. Investigators said there were no signs of any struggle. The case was closed, and Metro Nashville moved on. Jamie requested the full case file. She read through every page, every report, every document in that stack. And somewhere in the paperwork that no one had taken seriously, she found fingerprints on the plastic bag and the duct tape. One set of prints matched both. They were Donvin's. Only his.
The autopsy report in November 2023 listing her death.
Her husband was acting very, very strange. He was holding his head, he was rocking, pacing.
Dickerson says April's son found her unconscious in the bathroom. She also learned that her husband, Donvin Holt, had pawned April's wedding ring a week prior to her death. Dickerson went to police with the suspicion her daughter was murdered. For months, she met with police about the evidence. She tells News 2 the Community Review Board also looked into the investigation nearly a year after April's death.
They said they didn't see any signs of trauma, even though she had bruises, which I had to bring to their attention, even though the autopsy stated she had bruises on her neck, her wrists, her thighs, her ankles. She even had a gash on her inner thigh. I met with the DA, I met with everybody I possibly could. Everybody was like, oh, we don't see enough evidence, we don't see enough evidence. And they just let him be free.
She took that discovery straight back to the investigators, their own evidence, and filed a complaint with Nashville's Community Review Board demanding the case be reopened. Months went by with no movement. By this point, Donvin had relocated to San Antonio, Texas, and had taken Denzel with him. Custody had been granted to him after April passed. Jamie was now fighting on 2 fronts, trying to get her grandchildren back while simultaneously trying to get someone to take a second look at what happened to her daughter. She went public, reached out to news stations, posted on social media, and kept pushing. Nobody in the local Nashville media had touched it. 14 months in, and the story had gone nowhere.
And he didn't come with on that trip to go drop him off with his dad. She said she just couldn't do it. He was crying too. He didn't want to go. He was crying and saying he said, Grammy, I'll do anything I can to try to stay with you. I don't influence him in any way with his emotion. He's often told that I do, and I'm on that other side, but I would never do that. I want him to have an opinion of his own, and I want him to be happy, no matter where that is, I just want him to be happy and have a fulfilling childhood, and I want him to be with his sister.
So guys, I wanted to let you guys know something, which I don't understand if I'm doing something wrong or how I reach out, but there has not been one news channel in the local Nashville area that has picked up April Holt's story, my daughter. Not one, from day one, and it's been 14 months. And I've reached out to Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 7, Channel 5, any channel out there, including I've reached out to many of the celebrities that are out here. Not one will even respond or take anything on, including I've reached out.
So in September 2024, Jamie picked up her phone and called Donvin on FaceTime herself. Right there on that call, he broke down and told her what actually happened.
And I said, you can tell me the truth, or I'm going to go meet with the cold case team next Thursday and have this reopened. I'm not shocked. I don't have that emotion because I've been literally doing this for a year, knowing what happened. I already knew.
The argument had escalated. He had attacked April, and instead of calling for help, he staged the scene, walked out, got their son ready, fed him breakfast, and sent him to find his mother. Jamie recorded every second of it. She handed that recording to the police, and the case was reopened immediately. Detectives reached out to Donvin in San Antonio, and he confessed a second time.
A mother determined to get answers about her daughter's death leads to a major break in this already closed case, a confession from her killer.
As News 2's Corey Johnson explains, that mom hopes her story will inspire others to keep fighting, even when all hope seems lost.
July 29th, 2023, I get a call that my daughter isn't breathing.
April Holt died July 31st, 2023. Her mother, Jamie Dickerson, sat down with News 2, recalling the days and conversations before the 29-year-old mother of two died at a Nashville hospital.
I've never seen somebody without a soul in them, but I knew. I opened her eyes and I knew. I was like, she's not in there anymore. I just knew. I'm her mom.
According to Metro Police, April was found with a bag over her head, duct tape around her neck in the bathroom of her Antioch home. The autopsy report in November 2023 listing her death as
her husband was acting very, very strange. He was holding his head, he was rocking, pacing.
Dickerson says April's son found her unconscious in the bathroom. She also learned that her husband, Donvin Holt, had pawned April's wedding ring a week prior to her death. Dickerson went to police with the suspicion her daughter was murdered. For months, she met with police about the evidence. She tells News 2 the Community Review Board also looked into the investigation nearly a year after April's death.
They said they didn't see any signs of trauma, even though she had bruises, which I had to bring to their attention, even though the autopsy stated she had bruises on her neck, her wrists, her thighs, her ankles. She even had a gash on her inner thigh. I met with the DA. I met with everybody I possibly could. Everybody was like, oh, we don't see enough evidence. We don't see enough evidence. And they just let him be free.
More than a year after April's death came the turning point in her efforts to get justice for her daughter. It came in the form of a confession.
He just goes into how he killed her, and he described how he killed her, that he strangled her, and that then he didn't know what to do, so he drug her to the shower, put the bag over her head and taped it and made it look like a
Dickerson brought the confession to Metro Police, who released a statement Friday saying 33-year-old Donvin Holt was arrested in San Antonio, Texas in connection to April's death. He'd also confessed to Metro detectives. Authorities say he's indicted for reckless homicide, evidence tampering, and false reporting. On April's autopsy, the cause of death has been changed from suffocation to strangulation and from to homicide.
I think it should be first-degree murder. I need to get these charges upped to what they should be.
Dickerson says she's now fighting for full custody of April's son.
And I said, I'm not going to stop fighting. And I didn't. Even when the case was closed, I know that she would be the one that's just like, you did it, Mom. You did it.
Corey Johnson, News 2.
On September 20th, 2024, Donvin Holt was taken into custody in San Antonio. A grand jury came back with charges of reckless criminal activity, evidence tampering, and filing a false report. Jamie pushed for first-degree charges, but prosecutors declined. In February 2025, Donvin pleaded guilty. He received 2 years in prison, followed by 8 years of community corrections. Jamie called it insulting. She had spent over a year doing the work that investigators should have done, and the outcome was 2 years.
This sentencing, justice for you?
Absolutely not.
Tonight in Operation Crime and Justice, an update to a story that you first saw right here on Fox 17 News. A mother who solved her own daughter's murder. Police first ruled is furious about the killer's sentence. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar, she broke that story, and she's joining us live in front of the Birch Building downtown with an exclusive interview.
Megan, the mom is livid because her daughter's killer will walk free in a couple of years after he serves prison time. He is sentenced to community corrections, which allows him to be back on the streets. The mom tells me that's not something that she wanted. It's something she was forced to agree to.
I have no words. My emotions are everywhere. I think that I've been very angry.
Frustration from Jamie Dickerson on Donvin Holt's sentence. Her daughter, April Holt's husband and killer. A plea deal with the DA's office means he'll spend 2 years behind bars before 8 years of supervised release. His charges were reckless homicide, tampering with evidence, and false reporting. Why did you agree to this plea deal?
So I'm not sure that it was as much of an agreement or a backed into the corner decision.
Dickerson tells me the DA's office told her going to trial could mean less time behind bars, even seeing the felony charges wiped from his record. Dickerson says she also wanted to protect her grandson, Denzel.
In protection of Denzel, I needed to have him with me for 18 years.
Dickerson wanted her daughter's killer charged with first-degree murder. She says he tried to cover April Holt's death back in July, telling Metro Police it was a Police bought the story before Dickerson pressured them to take another look. With no luck. Dickerson got the confession herself by discovering Donvin Holt's fingerprints were found on the plastic bag taped tightly around her neck in their Antioch home on Cane Ridge Parkway. But that wasn't enough to put him away for good.
When Donvin was arrested, he said that it was a sexual act of choking and that he freaked out.
We reached out to Donovan's attorney for comment, but haven't heard back.
He is a murderer, and now he's going to be back on the streets because of our justice system.
We reached out to the DA's office to get a better understanding of the circumstances surrounding this plea deal, and they say they can't tell us anything until about a year from now. Reporting live in downtown, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
She has not stopped speaking. She continues to advocate, continues to call out the fingerprint evidence that was ignored for more than a year, and continues to demand accountability for what her daughter went through and what her family was put through in the aftermath.
I am trying to get the charges increased. There's no reason that they are as low as they are. There's no reason that they shouldn't be first degree instead of reckless homicide. There should also be child endangerment added to these charges. And so that's my next uphill battle that I'm trying to fight. I should have a new DA, which will be my third one now, sometime next week that will be assigned to this case. And so I will just be on them and making sure that I can do everything that I can to get these charges increased.
These cases spark conversation for a reason. Be the person to offer help if someone needs it. Trust your instincts and don't ignore warning signs. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one on Crime on Buzz. Thanks for watching.